Greetings, people. Paul Muckle here. A fire burning. Today is February 15, 2012. Now, people, today is a very significant day, right? But before I get into the significance of that day, right? A lot of people call me a drug addict because I smoke my marijuana, right? But marijuana opened my eyes, give me sense, and since somebody don't want to wake you all ass up and get some sense, since y'all don't want to smoke marijuana, I'm gonna force you all to smoke some. Watch this, right? I'm gonna force you all to smoke some marijuana. Y'all don't want to smoke? Watch this. Force you all to smoke some. All over the world. All over the world. Buckingham Palace, Rome, Washington DC, all over the world, okay? Make them smoke some ganja. Wake them up. Make them high. You see that sound they talk about here around the world? All they hear strange sounds around the world? Now you're gonna smell some strange smell around the world, okay? You're gonna start smelling some ganja. It's gonna wake you all up. All of you who want to talk about y'all don't smoke, your Christians, it's gonna wake you all ass up. Get some sense and realize that what y'all waiting for is not coming. Because what y'all didn't expect is here. Paul Muckle. So today, February 15th, is a very, very important anniversary. It's the 20th year anniversary of the beginning of my life, of what's taking place today. And I'm gonna go upstairs, right? I'm gonna go upstairs and finish this video. Okay, so I just wanted to come down and send some spiritual vibes all over the world. Wake up the people and creating a storm. You know the storm that they say is coming, the northeast that's coming. I'm influencing it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just influencing the storm a little bit, that's all. Some ganja, because y'all don't want to smoke, so I can do it, you know what I'm saying? Spiritual vibe, that's all. I'm saying spiritual vibe your way. Okay, it's going up to the chimney, go up in the sky, and it's going to go all over the world. This ganja smoke going to go all over the world. Judge Woodlock, inhale, okay? Make sure you inhale some of this. You need some sense. We y'all find out what I'm about to tell you all. Okay? So anyway. Spiritual vibes all over the world. Spiritual vibes all over the world. And storms too, okay? That could have influenced that snowstorm are coming on the weekend, okay? I can't control it, but we can influence it, right? Alright. So, I'm gonna go upstairs, folks, and finish the video, okay? Alright. Okay, people, as I was saying downstairs, right? On February 15th, 1992, these guys came into my house on an armed robbery, right? Home invasion, right? I don't have a lot of time, so I'm not gonna go through the whole story, but to make a long story short, these guys came to my house on an armed robbery, right? In my house, my property, that I'm paying my rent for, that I own, it's my property, I live there. Came to my house, trying to rob me. But going back 2 weeks earlier, February 2nd, 1992, 4 of them came. Him and his other 3 friends came. Put a gun to my head, stole all my money, my clothes, my jewelry, all that stuff. Trying to blow my brains out. Okay? Trying to blow my brains out in my house. In my house. Came to my house with guns. Trying to blow my brains out. To make a long story short, they got what they wanted and they got away. 2 weeks later, they came back again. in my home. This is my home. You're coming into my home. And this time, one of them got shot with a 12-gauge shotgun. I'm not bragging, I'm not boasting. But he came into my home. And it's significant. Because I got convicted 9 to 12 years in prison for attempted murder, 9 to 10 years for assault and battery, 1 year for a gun, 1 year for a bullet. Now people, do you see the audacity? These men came into my home. Into my home. With guns. To take what I had by force. One of them got shot. And I go to prison. But while in prison, I realized that it was the work of my Lord. Read it in Isaiah chapter 53. I did no wrong. He bruised me because he wanted to send me to prison to teach me about myself, to teach me the law, and to teach me not to be fear, not to fear prison. Because he knew that in this time, I'm going to rise to do what I'm doing today. Because people, I'm not lying to you. 1993, 94, I knew about the financial collapse, people on my life. I knew about it. I saw the vision, I saw it. I was sitting here watching TV. I used to like Sean Hannity. When he used to have that program, Fleecing of America, Sean Hannity used to have that program. He used to be my boy then. I can't stand him now, but back then I used to like him. And he was showing how the government was selling out America to this foreign corporation, and Sean Hannity was one of them against it. And when I went back to my prison cell, I had a vision. Someone said to me, Paul, one day in the future, Japan, and among others, gonna use their money, and they're gonna invest heavily into America infrastructure. They're gonna invest heavily into your mortgages, into everything. They're gonna build you all up, and then they're gonna cap you all. They told me that, and they said, we bring you here in prison so you can learn the law, because you're gonna fight it. You're gonna have to check it. And you're gonna have to prepare, because the people are blind, they are asleep. So anyway, to make a long story short, I appealed my case 2 times, 3 times with lawyers, and I lost. So my Lord told me, he said, what did I tell you? I'm not gonna give my glory to another. I'm gonna give you the glory. You're gonna get yourself out of prison. I'm gonna give the glory, because why should I give my glory to another? So he made me study the law. I studied the law. I went back to court, and I won the appeal unanimously 3 times. It took me 4.5 years, but it was worth it, because it was 4.5 years worth of college to me. Anyway, so my Lord showed me that in this time that the banks will be robbing the people, and He prepared me to fight that. And how did this so happen that today I am here doing it, people? Now, do you all remember when this guy came into my house with a gun to rob me? Did this scene look familiar, people? Deja vu. Futuristic. So, banksters. This is what happened to the guy who came in my house to try to rob me. This is what gonna happen to you all. We are coming in my house to try to take it from me. Okay? Alright.
I'm not sure if I live to see tomorrow. Living in this world of conflicts and sorrows. Bodies lay cold as gunmen strike bold, and the people work is taking off. I want.
fractional reserve policy is a form of slavery to debt, where it is literally impossible for society to be free. In turn, free market capitalism in the form of free trade uses debt to imprison the world and manipulate countries into subservience to a handful of large business and political powers. Apart from these obvious amoralities, the system itself is based on competition, which immediately destroys the possibility of large-scale collaborations for the common good.
The battle, sir, is not to the strong alone. It is to the vigilant, the active, and the brave. Besides, sir, we have no election. If we were base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking may be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come! I repeat it, sir! Let it come! It is in vain, sir, to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war is actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God! I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death!